banished from Earth Classic Game Room broadcasts from the Intergalactic Space Arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything. Welcome to Classic Game Room. Do you like to collect weird, rare, and obscure video game equipment? If so, you're going to want one of these, the Hyper Neo Geo 64, which is like 64 pounds, and this is my fifth take. It's really heavy. Good workout with this. Seriously, you should feel one. It's a brick that plays awesome games. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, 64 more reasons you're going to want a Neo Geo MVS arcade cabinet. The Hyper Neo Geo 64, which was released in 1997 and failed miserably. There's only a handful of games available for this, but look at it. It's like a piece of armor that fell off RoboCop, and it plays games. Not very many of them, but a few like Samurai Showdown 64, Warrior's Rage, which you'll see a lot of in this review because it's the only game I have. While the Hyper Neo Geo 64 is kind of rare, it's not that expensive to actually collect the hardware that you see here. However, the games themselves are pricey, but if you've already invested in a Neo Geo MVS arcade cabinet, this should plug right in. Theoretically, this should also work on JAMA, but I was unable to get that up and running. You know, I'm technically useless, but it plugs right into a Neo Geo, and then you can be one of the few people on Earth enjoying games on your Hyper Neo Geo 64. Which has got to be one of the coolest looking devices ever. Check out the giant cartridge that fits on top of this thing, or whatever it is. That's what the games look like. They look like that, and you eject them by pressing down on the two metal handles on either side, which feels like you're removing a piece of bulletproof plating from a tank. But why did it fail? Because obviously this is pretty neat, right? Any game system that looks like RoboCop seems like one worth collecting. According to the internet, details are sketchy, but there's only like 7 to 10 games released for this thing. It was discontinued in 1999. I can only imagine it was really expensive, and while Samurai Showdown 64 Warrior's Rage is a fun game and definitely looks different than the standard Neo Geo games, it's hard to say if it's better, although it sure does sound better. It's like somebody installed new speakers and a subwoofer in my MVS arcade cabinet. Here's a look at my 4-slot Neo Geo MVS, which I removed to swap with the Hyper Neo Geo 64. Now, if you're a serious SNK enthusiast and have some money to spare as well as a Neo Geo MVS arcade machine, then yeah, I would recommend this, just because it's cool. But if you're on a tight budget or just making your way through school, then you probably don't need one of these. There's not enough games to justify it. Although you gotta admit, Samurai Showdown 64 is pretty cool. I feel like if you can easily afford an MVS collection, you should have one of these just because you can. Otherwise, I'd pass on it. I had no plans to get one of these until Lee from Bucks in the United Kingdom sent one all the way to the Intergalactic Space Arcade. Across an ocean, through space. So Lee, thank you very much. This is a really cool piece of video game history, and I'm proud to feature it on the show. I found Samurai Showdown 64 out there on eBay. There's a couple games floating around. This one is definitely worth getting. I can't speak for the rest of them. However, you know you want to be the only kid on your block rocking the Hyper Neo Geo 64. I have no idea what just happened there.